We routinely do not look at it that way.
You don't look at the number?
We look at our profitability very carefully by flight and by market and by region, but we do not look at our profitability by baggage.
It
don't have.
defies imagination. It defies common sense. It would defy a business school first day in class to say that United can't provide a number for the total cost of checked bags. Let me ask you the same question, Mr. Johnson. Wouldn't you agree that American is capable of estimating the costs of checked bags? But in fact, it's refused to provide this information to us. We have a 6-year-old estimate of its cost, your airline's cost to transport checked bags. We can show it to you. I think we may have a slide of it. It says that Americans spent about $28 to move each checked bags, and that the cost has risen about 16% since 2016. This is an American Airlines cost estimate, and yet your airline refused to provide this data to us for the most recent year.
Senator, we've not provided it to you because we haven't calculated it. It's not a critical calculation for us to do.
You provided this document to us. It's an example. It's simply an example of what you do, and understandably, it's good business practice to know how much you're spending on checked bags. We've heard it's in the hundreds of millions of dollars potentially to other big airlines. You must keep track of it as well.
Senator, I'm sorry, I misspoke. I was aware that we had provided that information for 2018. I was responding to your question about the current year. And we just haven't calculated it. The reason that we haven't calculated it is that we know the cost of bags, of transporting bags, is considerably higher than what we charge for transporting bags. You mentioned a figure in the hundreds of millions of dollars. Our figure is certainly more than that.
This is not kind of an abstract, obtuse question. What we're trying to do here is basically get the total cost, the number of bags, so we can calculate how much per bag it costs you, and then compare that to what you charge to consumers. Consumers should have a right to that information. I'm just a country lawyer from Connecticut. I'm not a business school graduate, but common sense tells me that's a calculation that ought to be done. And yet, and forgive me for using this word, you've stonewalled this subcommittee by refusing to provide this basic information. Mr. Carter, let me ask you about seat assignment. Delta told the subcommittee that it charges as much as $264.99 for certain economy seat classes. How much does it cost Delta to assign someone to that seat?
Senator, if you're referring to our main cabin fare, we don't charge that person anything for a seat assignment.
Well, how much does it? How much do you charge then for seat assignments? Your airline told us $264.99. That's incorrect?
No, Senator, I was just trying to respond. I think you may be referring to our basic economy fare class, which is the product for the college student who simply has a backpack, who is, I would say, flexible about having a seat assignment before they travel. And again, they're not charged for that seat assignment. They will receive that seat assignment before they, either at the airport or before they get to the airport. It's just they won't be able to pick that seat when they buy the ticket.
You're saying that for economy class, there's no charge for preferred seating assignment?
For our main cabin, there is no charge.
What about
for a seat
extra leg room?
At all?
Extra leg room for that college student who is just carrying a backpack.
We don't.
That's the charge, isn't it? $264.99.
Now, Senator, if a customer would like to book in Comfort Plus, that would be the product for somebody who would want additional legroom.
Okay, here's my question. How much does it cost you? You know, we can go back and forth. The intricacies are overwhelming, and you win at that game. But the question is, how much does it cost you when a customer wants extra legroom?
Senator, it's actually a question I cannot answer except to
I
say
think
that,
the answer is pretty simple. Zero.
well, that would not be the case. I mean,
Well, that is the case, except maybe the charge for the information technology, which is spread across a zillion different transactions, and it's close to zero. Maybe it's not zero exactly, but to reassign someone to a different seat, cost is zero.
Senator, in fact, we unfortunately, as an airline industry, and Delta certainly has experienced this, we are dealing with the inflation that this country's been
Do you
dealing with.
dispute that almost all of that $264.99 is profit?
Absolutely.
You do?
Absolutely.
Well, that claim really is mind-boggling. I'm going to yield to my colleague, Senator Hassan, because I know she has to go. So I'm not done with my second or third round, but I'll yield to her.
I appreciate that, Mr. Chair. And look, I just want to start by following up on what Senator Blumenthal was just really trying, I think, to get at. You all run airlines. You have a unique product. It's an airplane that can fly us to where we want to go, we hope, as the most efficient form of travel for relatively long distances. Most Americans cannot afford their own plane. They are dependent on you to be able to go to a family funeral across the country or to a business meeting halfway across the country. When they are planning their trip, they want to be able to look up a fee. How much is the ticket going to cost me? If I need to check a bag, how much will that cost?